Hello, hello, hello. It is I, the biblical mystic, and we are talking today about clearing the path, clearing the path to your power. So, as you all know, I'm the biblical mystic, and everything I talk about is going to lead back to you stepping into your power. So, the goal of this class is to help you become aware of how you think because there's a lot of hidden thoughts playing in the background that we haven't been paying attention to, but they are in control. They are creating the lives that we live today. Okay. So it's time for us to become aware of them and bring them out in the open and create the lives that we desire to live consciously. So, as you know, we receive information from various sources. The gateway that we're going to discuss today is that of your mind, your thoughts. Science says that we get over 60,000 thoughts a day. And the existence of a thought does not confirm its validity. Just because you're thinking something, it does not mean that it's true. And this needs to be known because our thoughts come from so many different sources, right? So our parents can produce thoughts, our society, siblings, friends, foes, music, news, social media, including our DNA. So let's sit with that for a moment. Let's look at our DNA. That is literally the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics says that the previous generation's trauma and the way they thought is passed through our DNA. So if we stay in that train of thought, that means we have hundreds, if not millions, of generations of memories in our DNA. And I want to stay in that thought with the fact that there is nothing new under the sun, right? And some of us are in positions or have the ability to look at our bloodline and see patterns. So I can see something that happened in my life now happen in this generation that has come behind me, or I can see something that has happened in my life and I can see where my mother had dealt with this or my father dealt with this. And hey, you might even be able to see him. And my grandmother had the same energy, had the same experience. So we can see how stuff is passed down, how it continually moves through our bloodline, how these particular patterns continually move through our bloodline. So let's kind of bring this in a little bit. So if your great grandmother had an experience that resulted in anxiety, epigenetics says that anxiety can get passed down through the DNA. So when you find yourself stressed, depressed, hormones are all out of whack, what a lot of times what can be happening is that your genes, your genetics are expressing themselves. When a girl child is born, she's born with all of her eggs to create a baby. So when my mother was born, the egg that created me was already in my mother. So if my grandmother was not safe or she dealt with any trauma during the time that she carried my mother and me and my mother experienced every emotion, every frequency, every shift, all everything that she went through, we experienced that. And you have to know and understand that all of this played a part in your development and how you think today. This is why the narrative that is being pushed now that your ancestors are demonic and they I don't want to get too far in that, but that narrative that's being pushed there, we are our ancestors. They're in us. When you understand DNA, they are us. So we're not, it's not about you worshiping your ancestors. You are literally venerating, you are acknowledging what is in you. Because I also want to make sure that I make it clear, the bad, it's just not the bad stuff that's being passed down, that them good traits too. We don't have a bloodline full of addicts, and we don't have a bloodline full of addicts and criminals. You know, whatever is the immediate thing you see in your bloodline, we don't have a bloodline. You don't have a bloodline of only that. There's a lot of things in your bloodline. There's a lot of things. There's greatness in there too. So again, I don't want to get too far off of what I'm talking about. So we often associate our identity with our thoughts. Yet many of us are unaware of these thought patterns. We're unaware of these hidden thoughts that are laying in the background, that are quietly playing in the background, directing our lives. I want you to think about the messages that you received as a child. And you've taken these messages on as a truth. Now, some of us have received empowering messages. Some of us, our parents made sure we knew we can do absolutely anything, while others of us received disempowering messages. You got a clear message that you can't do nothing right. You got a clear message that bad stuff is always happening to you. You'll never be nothing. You don't have the ability to do that, honey. You can't. You fill in the blank of whatever that disempowering message was that you received. You fill in the blank. But at the end of the day, you have to get to the point where you acknowledge whatever that message is that's playing in the background, and you acknowledge that it's rubbish and it's clogging the communication between you and the spirit realm. Because you can't get into agreement with the spirit realm because you think you lacking something. You think you don't have the ability to do something. So we have to identify these messages and then go in and remove them, pull them up by the root. But we can't pull them up if we don't know they're there. So when I say these messages, we have messages playing quietly in the background, and they are literally directing our lives and we are unaware. And many of us, we've been receiving these messages our whole entire life. And we might be 40, 50, 60 plus years old. And if you're listening to me, that means you're ready to do the work. You're ready to do the work to pull up these weeds. You're ready to do the work to create consciously, because at the root of all of this, you have to understand that you are a creator. When God said, I've created you in my image, I've created you as a creator. Okay. Whew. But we have all of these thoughts in the background that we've given power and authority to, right? And again, a lot of them, we don't even know they're there. But the moment something happens that justifies this belief system, this thought, you lock in agreement with it. Soon as you make a mistake, yeah, I'm a big mess up. I'm a big dang, everything I always effing up something. I'm always messing something up. I can't do nothing right. You lock into that belief system, and that interferes with you being able to move and live in your power. Now you done locked into this belief system that you can't do nothing right. Now you unproductive. Now you procrastinating. Now you finding yourself in this dark space, lacking onto a message that blocks all communication. And that ain't your truth, baby. That ain't your truth. But we have to recognize, we have to become aware. I call these messages ants. Automatic negative thoughts. It's that thought system that we automatically go to it. We live in these thoughts. Our identity is based on them. And these messages stem from trauma, unprocessed pain, and not just your own, but generational. Our job is now to become aware of them and replace them so we can create a new identity. You will need to become more aware of yourself, shut out all of that outside noise so you can go within. And sometimes I'm going to tell you, it's scary going within because sometimes you don't want to face that stuff. But if you want to heal, if you want to be whole, if you want to connect to your power, you're going to have to go within. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to face aspects of you that you don't want to. I want you to view yourself as an antenna, as a satellite out in the cosmos. And you have been designed to receive cosmic information. You've been designed to receive these downloads from the spirit realm. But again, we got all this rubbish in the way, and that's interrupting our communication. And because we have not been taught how to properly use our mind, our satellites are blocked, and we don't have the right information coming in. We got you a big mess up. You don't do nothing right. That's the information we have coming in. When you learn to live in your power, you will be in this world and not of it. Harriet Tubman, her antenna was clear. She was able to connect with an aspect of her that guided her through, and she was able to free all of these people. Shirley Chisholm, Tyler Perry. You can say what you want to say about him, but we in real time literally watched this man go the back door, take the back door into the spirit realm. And when you look at it from that perspective and what he was able to do in our lifetime, in my time as an adult, that man's channel was clear. That man's antenna was clear. And it's important for us to look into this. It's important for us to understand this because whether you see it or not, our world has shifted. And you will need clear communication. This is what will bring about personal and generational advancement. You're going to have to be able to talk to and tap into that spirit realm. You're going to have to be. And again, I'm going to remind you there's nothing new under the sun. It's just been some generations since we've done it, but it's in you. You just have to remember how. But it's the memory is already inside of you. So listen, I love y'all. I am the biblical mystic. And it's time to clear our path, okay? I am the biblical mystic across all platforms. So please feel free to reach out via the contact information provided with this video. I love y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow.